Okay, we are in Paul's garden.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. It's not very big, but I actually grow a lot of stuff here, Annie.
What did you say yesterday? It's a
Size of a postage stamp.
Yes, yes. Well, a big postage stamp.
A big postage stamp.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're going to send it to the moon. So we are in his backyard, and with that comes all the elements of nature. So I'm doing this because I see one of those beetles there.
He'll fly away. We're good.
Okay, so anyways, welcome.
Thank you. And we're going to start off with harvesting some vegetables, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So that's why we're here. We're going to cook and harvest, or harvest and cook. And so Paul is harvesting cherry tomatoes from his potted cherry tomato plant. Now, let's talk a little bit about space and growing in small spaces. And while
so Annie, what I've
that,
done, I've cut them right on the thing. Look how pretty and beautiful those look, and lovely and fresh. They are so sweet, it's going to blow your mind.
And you can actually keep them on the stem.
You can.
And
they last for longer.
Put them a little bit olive oil, salt and pepper, and roast them in the oven on the stem.
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Yes.
Wow,
and
that's
then
awesome.
get a little burrata cheese and olive oil. Just pop that baby in there and drizzle.
Absolutely delicious.
And there it is. You got one very quick little appetizer.
So I'm going to carry on harvesting some stuff here. We're a little bit.
I'm going to swish my cherry tomatoes.
You're going to water them?
Yes, I'm going to water them.
And we also have some Roma tomatoes here, and we picked some of these earlier, which Annie has actually roasted already. So there we go. Look at that.
Oh my goodness,
so
look
beautiful.
at this.
Look at those. Straight off the vine, literally off the vine.
Okay, so this is what it looks like to harvest and your own vegetables.
And can you smell the tomato plants? I've been brushing against it. You can smell it. It's beautiful. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Okay, so this is a Japanese eggplant, which we are cooking off today as well. So we're making a little something with the cherry tomatoes, the Roma tomatoes. We've got two Japanese. Okay, I want to show you something because I did, these are store-bought, and I did this on purpose because I wanted to show you guys. So these are store-bought, and these are homegrown.
Yeah. So Annie, I grow everything in pots.
Yes.
And so it's quite a big pot, probably about a 30-gallon. I'm thinking maybe not that big. Anyway, and they have tomato trellises on, so they can grow nicely. They get fed once a week with fertilizer. They get watered every day. Very important when you're doing container gardening that things are watered every day, because there's not a lot of soil for them. So we've harvested some of the eggplants. I have a few peppers here for you.
Yes, I want those too.
Right, so these are sweet banana peppers.
Ooh.
So look how cool those are.
Look at that.
And behind, you can't actually see us, but behind we have a lime tree behind there too. And in the corner here we have a lemon tree. So all these wonderful things in my small little backyard.
Yes. So how many do you have back here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4.
About 6 or 7 pots.
But that's just on this side of the patio.
On the other side, we have the cucumbers on a trellis.
Yes, on a trellis.
And beans. Oh, show them the cucumbers that we harvested.
Here's the cucumbers that came off of the trellis.
Lovely?
And I'm going to pickle these.
Now, we did let them grow a little bit longer because you want to pickle them. Okay, so that's what we did on that.
Yes, I'm going to pickle them.
Unfortunately, the beans are over now. The beans don't last long. We just have a short season of growing with them. But then you plant new ones. So the exciting part of that is I always start them off, you see, like this.
And as you are talking about that, I'm going to start cooking.
Please do. So we take the seeds and we put them in a little bit of tissue with water so they swell up, and then they start to sprout. And once they've sprouted, we will then plant them into the pots.
And what is this right here?
These ones are pole beans, and we also have cucumbers.
Okay.
And also behind us we have a bed of deep soil. We're going to put zucchini in there because the zucchini does better in a bed of soil than it does in a pot. And then the beans will climb up a trellis that I have, and below it we have the bush beans. We have blue bush beans, yellow bush beans, and green bush beans.
So how long will it take for it to start to sprout?
I think it's to start about 4 days.
Okay.
4 to 5 days.
Okay.
And then you should be getting a crop in about 50 to 60 days.
Oh wow.
You'll your first
for you
ones.
to harvest.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So I try and stagger my harvesting because we get disease in the garden, and I don't like to spray with a lot of chemicals.
Right.
In fact, hardly anything. The only thing that I use is neem oil, which is a fungicide and an insecticide, and it's a natural product.
And where
so
do you
it's not
get
going to
that?
harm us. You can get that at Home Depot.
Oh.
And it's called
what is
neem
it called?
oil. Neem.
How do you spell it?
Neem. We have other herbs here, but Annie, I have some mint for you.
Ooh.
And which I've already harvested, and our mint plant is below our table.
Oh yes.
What else do we have growing in here? We have the parsley. Oh, I have some sweet basil.
Yes. Yes. Basil
Okay.
is perfect.
So that's really easy to grow.
Yes, it is.
Marjoram, rosemary, all of those herbs will really grow nicely in containers.
So, aside from all your potted tomatoes and your citrus trees, you can then, like you have right behind you, your parsley, and then in additional containers. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but right at the foot of this table is a huge mint plant, and I'm just smelling this mint.
Isn't it
it's
beautiful?
like
now, Annie, that one is quite a spectacular mint because it's a sweet mint. So you can put it in tea. I put it in tea with in black tea.
Yes, yes.
And it's delicious.
This is fabulous. There's so many things that you can do with that.
That's right. Put it in lemonade. I think it's awesome. And you know what a lovely atmosphere we have out here.
Oh,
Can you hear the water we have from our fountain? We have this fountain. Now, this encourages the animals, the birds, to come into my little backyard. We also have a hummingbird feeder in the back. Hopefully, they'll come down whilst we're here, because they do that. And they also will bathe in the fountain along with the finches that we have in the garden.
Yes.
So they will come. It brings them in.
Well, didn't you tell me at one point where you lived somewhere else where you had like...
I had 40 hummingbirds.
40?
I had 9 hummingbird feeders. We were going through 5 pounds of sugar per week.
They were
the birds
hungry.
were going crazy. Absolutely. Maybe we'll put a video up on our thing on BFF.
Yes,
That would be a lot of fun to see that.
That would be so cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have a composter in the corner, which you probably can't see.
Right. You can't see it, but it's back there.
So all my organic waste goes into that composter. Now the composter also has little fruit flies. The fruit flies will breed in it. The hummingbirds eat the fruit flies. Not many people know that they don't just live on the nectar that we give them, the sugar water. They need those little flies as well.
Oh my goodness.
They feed their little babies for protein.
I was just going to say, everyone needs their protein.
So this is an ideal garden for the hummingbirds. And we've designed it like that.
And it's small, but it's perfect.
It is.
Yes, it's
You can
perfect.
sit out here. You hear the fountain when we're in the kitchen. In the background,
well, when
just
you
a
and I were
wonderful
visiting
ambiance.
the other day, we heard the fountain in the background, and it
Isn't
just
it a
presents
lot?
such a comforting, relaxing environment.
It's very relaxed, very zen.
Yes, it is very zen.
Very zen.
And every now and then you get a breeze through
isn't
here.
that nice?
It's really lovely.
Well, right now the breeze is this delicious stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I am making, I'm hoping I can get through 2 recipes, but I'm making right now the starting of the first vegetarian burger that we're going to make.
Wonderful.
So, you want to
Yes.
come and stand over here
Yes,
by
I
me?
can stand there. That'd be easier, right?
Yeah, so right there. There you go. Because then you can hand me things.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I can be your assistant.
You can. You can be my chef assistant.
What's that, a
Okay.
demi chef?
Sous chef.
A sous
You
chef.
can be my sous
Okay.
chef. Yes. Okay. So
Or pretend chef,
there
whichever.
you go. Whichever. Okay. So we're going to start with our pickles because I want to marinate these pickles, and so I have a little marinade in here. It's rice wine vinegar, some brown sugar, red pepper flakes, and whole garlic cloves that I crushed, and a little
Very
bit of
nice.
thyme.
Very
Okay.
nice.
So
That sounds delicious. And a lot of those herbs you can grow in the garden if you want
Yes,
to.
yes.
In an herb pot. But that's
And-
another show.
And if you get pizza delivery, you can save those red pepper flake packets that they give you.
That's right,
Because
they
they
give
always
it
give
far
you
too
too
many.
many, right?
That's right.
So,
Oh,
So-
that smells so delicious.
right? Can
I
you smell it?
Oh, I can.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we are going to find a spot for that.
Yeah.
My king mushrooms, which I think are going on our second recipe.
Okay.
which we'll talk about then. Look at this cucumber
Can
grown.
you smell that now?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Absolutely delicious.
This came from Paul's garden.
Yeah.
This could come from your garden.
That's right.
Right?
And you can cut them at different maturities because these are
Yes.
quite mature, so you can see the big seeds in them. But when you could cut them when they're smaller and then the seeds aren't so big,
Right, right.
I quite like them like this because
Yes.
they just taste so delicious.
And I like them big like that.
Yes.
Because when we do our burger, we're going to build our burger, and then this is going to be our substitute for our fries.
Right.
If you're trying to be really healthy. And I absolutely love cucumbers. I don't
too.
know. I am just a cucumber lover.
You know, the nice thing about cucumber, you can also eat them and they make you feel full.
Yes.
But you probably use more energy eating them than they give you. A bit like celery.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so I use a lot of deli containers. It's a restaurant thing. But so I'm just going to marinate them in here. So I'm going to let them sit to the side a little bit.
How long would you marinate those for?
It would be good if you did it the day before, but you
Okay.
could do it the day of. Just
Yeah.
give it a couple hours to
Yes.
just kind of,
All right.
just kind of sit in that wonderful flavors. Okay, do you know what this is?
Well, it looks rather torturous. You're not
Right,
gonna
right.
Take me out with it, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So
we're best
you-
friends. Of course we're not.
Of course not, right? So this is it. You use it to make spiral. I'm multitasking here. You use it to do spiral vegetables. Okay. So what I did was and you get them at the Asian stores, or the chef stores carry something similar. But I like this one. I would always use this one in my restaurant, and we would
Right.
make ribbon fries, and I would serve them with my steak frite
Oh,
sandwich.
nice.
Yeah, and I would drizzle
Wasn't it known
gorgonzola
as a
cream.
spiralator or something, wasn't it?
Something, yeah.
Yeah, which was was electric, I think.
Ah, okay. Well, this one we are doing old school.
Which I
So,
think is probably more reliable.
yes, exactly. It comes with a few different blades, but it comes with a few different blades, but this is the blade that will give you like a spaghetti look, okay? So it's very simple. You just pop it in there, and the top has little prongs on it, and you
just
press
spiral away.
and just spiral away.
That's pretty
yes.
awesome.
And then when you're all done, you have these lovely little ribbon spaghetti-like strands. So look at this.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome.
Isn't that cool? They're
But
not that
you
expensive.
can even blanch that, can't you? And then it'll be
Yes.
like spaghetti instead of actually using spaghetti.
And if you're going to throw it into something and use it like that, you want to do it, at the last minute. They'll cook very quickly.
fast, yes.
Yes. So, so look at that.
wow.
Isn't that lovely?
That is lovely.
Okay, so I'm going to set this over here, and I'm going to give you a job. What do you
Okay.
think of that?
I love that.
What do you think if I give
Yeah.
you a job? Because we need to cut our tomatoes.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to give you that board so that you can cut the tomatoes for me.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to take my spiral zucchini,
Okay.
and I'm going to put it on my tray. So here we go. And as I'm doing this,
And are you going to cook that now, or are we going to have it raw?
I'm going to cook it now.
Okay.
And what I'm going to mix it with is a batter. So the batter consists of flour, and we'll post this recipe on our website or our Facebook. And I'll post it also on my Instagram.
Okay.
So I'm going to see what I'm doing here. What I did was I spiraled them earlier, and I set them on paper towels to kind of drain the moisture out of it.
Right.
Right?
Will that make a difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And so now,
Good to know then.
now I'm going to add this little goodie to
Oh
it.
gosh, that looks great.
So this is a batter I made. It's got flour, milk, butter.
Yes. And is that going to bind it together?
Yes.
Okay.
Flour, milk, butter. It's got 1 egg. It has, I'm going to add a little more butter to it so that,
Everything's better with more butter, Annie.
Right.
You know that.
that's my motto.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to stir it up a little bit more.
Yes. Looks great.
And then at the last, right before, a little water, and then right at the last, you fold in some panko breadcrumbs.
Okay, will I do a little crunch?
Yeah, well, I
Or
think it just binds it more together.
binds it,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just do this, and I'm going to mix
Wow.
it all up.
Things are smelling so
And
great
then
here.
when I go to wash my hands, you can cut tomatoes for me.
Oh dear, okay.
All righty. So I'm going to turn this down because we're very hot right now. In more ways than one. Okay, so see what I'm doing here?
I can see that.
All righty.
Okay.
Now,
And that goes into the oven?
no, this goes into little rings, right?
Okay.
Like this. I'm going to put a little butter on this.
So that's just
grill.
going to form the shape of them.
Yes. Okay. And then you just take this. Now it's best to kind of maybe chill it a little bit first.
Okay.
But we're just going to fast forward so that we can move along.
Yes.
Okay. And if you don't want to use the ring, you don't have to. I have a small bun that I'm using today, so I want to make sure that I don't make it too big. I'm going to put it on a pretzel bun.
Nice.
Okay. And so
Small
we're going
portions
to
are
do
always
two.
great, aren't they? You can always, come back for another one if
Yes,
you want.
exactly.
Instead of having to try and get through a huge
Right.
portion of something. Wow.
Okay, and we are
This is looking
very
great.
hot. So I'm just going to turn this
You could
down.
just turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to
There
turn
we
it
go.
off for me? There we go. Thank
so
you.
now we're off.
We're
but
off.
that will stay hot for quite a while. It's a
Yes.
wonderful griddle.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So see what I'm doing here? I'm just going to fill this little ring
Got it.
with my noodle-like zucchini that has a batter that's going to bind it together.
Wow.
Now,
Smells so good
you
right
can
now.
finish it on here or you can finish it in the oven. If you choose to finish it in the oven, you want to put it in the oven once it browns. And then you want to cook it for about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
So do you want me to slice some
Yes,
tomatoes
I
for you?
do want you to slice some tomatoes.
I feel as though I'm in a tomato jungle here. It's rather nice.
tomato. When I hear you say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
It's funny because all my friends in England say, "Oh, you sound so American."
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's always intrigued me about what they think our accent sounds like.
Right.
I don't even know. Okay, see, look, I'm just going to do
Let's
one
see
on the
that.
side with no.
Oh, you can make like a patty with
yeah,
it.
yeah. In
Very
no
nice.
mold.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow.
See, and this is the mold.
Okay.
So you just
And
get
it
a
just
little more
stays all
height.
together.
Yes, yes. You get a little more height.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so let's do the patty. Let's do the tomatoes.
Okay.
And once you cut them, we're going to put them in this marinade
Yes.
of roasted
Didn't you
red
roast
peppers.
a pepper?
I did.
I should tell you something about peppers because
Please
not all
do.
peppers
I'm
are
going
the
to
same.
drop this in the kitchen. I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Okay. So most peppers, when you grow them, they start off green, and the most common variety will eventually turn red once they're mature. But if you want some of the other colors, like for example, if you want the orange or the purple or the yellow, you do have to buy varieties that will end up on maturity being that color. So that's an important thing to remember. I have grown these banana peppers behind me because they're a lot easier than the bell peppers and they grow much quicker. And I'm not too interested in the color of them, rather I'm looking for the flavor and have a sweet pepper that's easy to grow. The insects and creatures love peppers, so you have to end up having to spray them a lot, which is what I don't want to do. So I chose this banana pepper because it's very easy to grow and you don't need to spray it very often. And as I say, I only use neem oil, which will take hold of your aphids and things, and your caterpillars. I cheat and I go out and I buy the colored peppers because it takes so long for them to get to this stage, unfortunately. And by that time, I've used a lot of water and, avoiding chemicals.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
that's the story behind peppers. So not all peppers are the same.
So is it take a long time from the green to the red or
Yes.
just the whole process from?
No, from the green to the red or
Okay.
green to the orange or green to the yellow.
Okay.
It takes quite a while because they need to mature. And meanwhile, you can use the green peppers, should we say immature, right before they turn red. So then then they would grow quicker.
Okay.
But I still think the banana pepper is the way to go.
Yes. Okay, so we've got our...
Oh, I see you flipped them over.
Yes, I did. So I put the mold to the side, and I'm just going to let them do their thing. So I'm going to turn this back on, but I'm going to turn it down low so we get some constant
And you'll also
heat.
have the low on the other side because we turned that plate off.
Oh, yes, we did. Okay. All righty. So as that's cooking,
Right.
let's do our tomatoes. All righty. So
Should I hold that for you?
these. Yeah. All righty. I love these on the vine. Oops,
Aren't they
there
great?
goes one.
That's okay.
We have more.
They're running away. Oh, we have a whole bush behind us.
Yes, we do.
So I use a tomato cage which holds them up, and you can see the sort of the branches cascade down. And with this one, it wanted to grow up, so I just sort of put in a hook that I use for my hummingbird feeders, and just let it go up there, and I just tie it to it. And then they cast down, and you know, look at that crop. I mean, it's amazing.
I love the way they cluster.
Yes.
And just, you know, when you see them in the market and you
Yeah.
see them on the vine,
Yeah.
it's just growing and clipping and,
That's right.
you know, so.
You know, we often sit out here at night and have a little cocktail, and every now and then just reach over and grab a cherry tomato.
They're like candy,
Delicious.
really.
They are. They're
yeah,
so sweet.
Yeah, I love
Yes.
tomatoes. I grew up on, it's so weird. My father, he didn't like fresh tomatoes, but from the Portuguese side, everything seemed to have a tomato base.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, very
right?
common.
Yes, yes.
Very
Potatoes, onions, and tomato base was
Yes.
the staple
Right.
of the recipes from our Portuguese side of our
Yes.
family. But he didn't like fresh tomatoes, but
Okay,
he
that's
didn't
strange.
mind
Yeah.
tomato sauce or tomato paste.
There's a number of people like that. They only like them cooked.
Okay.
Oh, we have a hummingbird behind us.
Ooh,
I know we can.
can you see
it?
them?
Can you see him?
No.
Oh, okay. All right,
Okay.
but they come every day. We have 4 that come, 4 regular ones. I have another feeder in the front. There's only 2 that go to that one.
Oh.
And it's such a pleasure to sit here, and they come and they sit down with us, especially at night.
Yeah.
Just before it gets dark is when they do most of their feeding. And we'll just sit here and they'll be buzzing around us.
Aw.
It really is fun, and it's really cool.
Okay,
How's
so
that? Oh,
what
that
do
looks
I
great.
have here? I'm going to throw a little olive oil in there.
Uh-huh.
So I did my roasted red pepper pesto. So what I did was I took the pepper and I did 2 red peppers and a yellow pepper. And
They smell delicious.
I took the pepper and I put it right on the open flame on my stove. And I just roasted it till it looked like this. Here.
Now, some people would think, oh my goodness, you've cooked it too much.
I
But it's
burnt
not,
it.
right?
No,
Because
no.
you just take off the skin.
Yes. So what you want to do is you want to just peel this back, and then you'll see you get all this beautiful
flesh underneath.
roasted
And
pepper.
it has that smoky flavor
yes.
to it. I mean, it
yes.
really is delicious.
Look at that.
Delicious.
And you can do this with the red pepper, the yellow pepper, the purple pepper, any
Yeah.
color pepper you can do this with.
Right.
And it does pick up that smoky flavor. Now, the best way to get the charred skin off is to use a paper towel.
Yes.
You want to try not to actually rinse it because then you're going to wash all those flavors out.
Right.
And so the best way to do it is just use a paper towel and wipe it. And then once you get it all cleaned, you take the top off, the seeds are in there, you want to scrape those seeds out.
That's right.
And
And you
then
puree it?
you puree it in the Cuisinart and add a little olive oil to it,
Delicious.
and that's the sauce that's
Do you
here.
add some garlic or anything like
You
that? to it?
can. I just do straight red pepper
Okay.
with olive oil because
Right.
I want that to be the flavor.
flavor.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So stir that up for me.
No.
I'll be right back.
Okie dokes. So yes, so it's great fun doing container gardening, and you don't need a lot of space to do it. As I say, you know, what's very important is your fertilizer. That it needs to be fertilized regularly because you don't have a lot of soil. And also watering. I cannot emphasize enough that they need to be watered every single day, because when plants get this size, they take a lot of water to keep them going. So every night I'm out here and I water them, and I give them fertilizer every week, and I spray them with neem oil every week. How's that?
That's perfect. Okay, here's what we're going to do now. Let's talk about fennel.
Oh, you can grow fennel.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
How hard is it to grow fennel?
No, it's very easy.
So this is your fennel.
I would suggest buying little plants rather than doing it
Yes.
from seed, because seed takes a long time.
And so this is
wow,
what.
it's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can grow this in your garden?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the top is usually a little.
It's a little more bushy.
Yes, it's bushy, and it's a.
But of course you can. It tastes like licorice. You can
Yes,
eat it
it
like this in
does.
salads, can't you?
Yes.
Or even
yes, you can.
the whole
and,
thing.
And I often add it to my salads.
Very nice.
So.
And it looks great because it's a different texture.
Yes, it does. So what I did was I sliced it. Olive oil, salt and pepper, roasted it in the oven. You can also put them on your grill, okay?
Oh, grilled is great.
Yes, don't be afraid to grill any of this because you can.
You know, can I butt in?
Yes.
Corn on the grill is wonderful. Now, I leave the husk on the corn. I let it go black like your pepper was.
Yes.
And then I peel it back and it has that smoky flavor to it.
Yes.
And it's
Have
delicious,
you ever
Annie.
peeled back the husk and then put like goodies in there?
I haven't.
Yeah,
Oh, that
yes.
sounds good.
You got to peel
Okay.
back the husk, put some seasonings,
Yes.
doused it with just rub
some
butter,
butter
all
maybe,
over it,
and then close it up again?
Close it back up, and
On
then
a
stick
high
it on your
heat.
grill.
It comes out black, but when you open it up,
oh my goodness,
it's delicious
I
inside.
can't even.
Absolutely
I
delicious.
want that
We do
right
that in
now.
Africa quite often on an open fire.
So we do a lot of things under the ground in Hawaii.
Oh, you do? Oh, I know, pig.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your favorite.
nice. Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
That's where the flexitarian comes
Right. Okay, so roasted fennel. So here's what we're building here. We've got our
in. Arugula? Or you? Oh,
wait, where'd it go? Oh, here. Okay. So we have our little arugula with fresh tomato, kind of a compote kind of thing, and then we have our pickles marinating.
Yes.
I've got my we're playing with our grill because I've never worked on this grill before, so it's kind of like a getting to know you.
Yes.
It's our new BFF, and when you
It
make
is.
new friends, you start out getting to know them, right?
You do.
So I'm getting to know the hot spots and the do's and the don'ts of this grill right now.
We actually, that's a recent purchase. I think this is the second time it's been used,
Oh,
Annie.
see, and he seasoned it and everything. And
That's
so
important.
let's talk a little bit about this flat top, because as you see, I'm using it with a saute pan. I've got my cast iron butter melter here, and then also we're cooking on it, which you can do. And so, yeah, so this is very versatile for camping, backyard. It works really well.
And it actually comes off the legs and you can put it on a table.
Oh,
You could go
wow,
on
so
on a
tabletop.
picnic table. It's a tabletop grill.
Oh, I see a whole new usage for
Yes.
this then.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about the exhibition cooking, so, right? Okay, so I'm going to come over here. Excuse me, I've got to reach.
You're going to dive under?
Yes, I'm diving. I'm going to bun dive. Okay, so here, let's wipe this down.
Ooh.
Okay. So these are pretzel buns.
Let me check that our grill's on here because I'm
Okay.
smelling
Yeah,
gas
can
right
you?
now.
So these are pretzel buns, and they're really good. These are teeny tiny because that's how I found them. I got these from Whole Foods. I was going to try to bake all the bread, which I usually am baking my bread, but I didn't do that today. So instead I went to Whole Foods and I got their pretzel buns.
They look delicious.
And they're small, but it's a nice, so this can be like a slider size, and or you can serve it, like an appetizer. So I know I have a thing here because you gave it to me.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm just going to kind of, if you can see that, I'm just going to butter the top right here because I have pre-made a lot of stuff for today. And so I can start to assemble for this burger because I really want to get to the next burger. So
right.
let's just kind of recap. This burger is a zucchini ribbon with an arugula tomato compote. We're going to do some fennel. And let's talk about these Mexican onions.
Wow. Yes,
let's talk
Mexican
about
onions.
those. Yes.
Well, these you can also grow from seed. You can also buy sets, which is little baby onions that you plant, and then they will grow into the bigger size onion.
Ah.
So that's a fun way, a little bit of cheating. It's very quick.
Yes. Now, those go really well on an open fire. You put
They
them
do.
on the grill and you just let them all the flavor just come out of them. And I'm going to cut them and I'm going to add them to the top of the zucchini patty.
Now, Annie, if you have a gas top stove, you could do
Yes.
it on that, couldn't you? Sort of like open flame.
Yes, so what I did was I put them in the oven because
Okay.
I
on
didn't.
a high oven?
Yes, I put them on a high oven.
Okay.
And you can put them in the oven, and then when it gets to a certain point, you can also switch to broiler mode, because I often do that. Like
Right.
I'll start something out in the oven, and then I'll switch to broiler mode.
Right.
And you can do that with these. But can you?
I can smell
Can
them.
you smell them?
Oh, they're delicious.
So good.
They are.
And so this is how a lot of the produce I get come from Whole Foods or Asian markets, or because some of the regular markets don't carry everything,
don't.
right?
Farmers markets usually have them, don't they?
Yes, farmers markets do. And you know, from farm to the market, that's, you know, you can't get any fresher than
no, you
that
can't.
either. So as you can see, it almost looks like a green onion, but it's got a nice bulb at the bottom.
It has.
So I started these off in the oven, and then I switched over to broiler mode. Okay. Now, if you have like a cast iron grill pan, you know, the pan that has the ridges in them.
Yes,
like,
you could do it on that.
yeah, you can do it
Okay.
on there too. It'll just for the effect of maybe having some grill marks,
Oh,
more
yes, of
so,
course. That
right?
would make it
right?
look really-
Yes, yeah. If you
Right.
want to have that look of a grill mark.
Gosh, this all looks so delicious.
Okay, so I'm going to cut some of this up. We've got our buns grilling. We're finishing off our zucchini patties, and so this here, right here, that I have cooking is leeks and parsley. So what I like to do with my parsley is I like to add it to my pan first, and I add it to a hot pan, because when it hits that pan and it sizzles and you hear that sizzling sound, it releases this flavor that I
Isn't that great?
absolutely love. And then I add my other ingredients.
Now, is that true with garlic as well? I know with garlic you have to be so careful not to burn it.
Yeah, you have to be careful not to burn it. And I'm, you know, I'm a chef that adds my garlic before I add other things. I
Okay.
just need,
Right.
I like to release that flavor first. But you have to be careful. Your pan can't be too hot. Garlic will burn right away.
It will.
So sometimes I'll add it, let it release that flavor into the butter or the oil, then I'll scoop it out.
Right.
And then I'll continue adding my other ingredients, like maybe the onions or whatever I'm going to cook.
That's a great tip.
And then I'll add it back in, just to
Right.
save it from getting too
Yeah.
far too fast, right? Okay, so, ooh,
Well,
look
things
at
are
this.
oh wow, look at that.
Okay, there's one.
That's toasted that really beautifully, hasn't
Now,
it?
yes, it has. Ooh, look
Oh,
at
here we got
that.
some little.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, look at that.
Oh gosh, look at that.
Look at
That's
this.
actually perfect.
Yes, yes.
Personally, I like mine with a little bit of
Right.
dark on it.
Okay, so these are the tops, these are the bottoms, and I am going to put a little bit of our red pepper sauce right on the bread.
Okay,
as
what a great
well.
idea.
Okay, so I have a little device. Here we go.
Oh, that's like a butter knife. So what are you looking for?
Yes,
Can I help you?
You know what? I have the red pepper sauces in the kitchen. I'm going to
Okay,
hand this
I
to
shall
you.
look after this.
You talk to our audience, and I will be right back.
Right. So herbs are another very good thing that you can grow in pots. We have this mint below. I use a lot of mint in the garden. I love to have mint tea. As I said before, I put it with my black tea, and it's absolutely delicious. Then we have another pot over here, which is parsley, which is on the windowsill there. That likes to have half shade, half sun, which is why it's where it's positioned. Now, we have to be careful with some herbs because they do take over your garden. Things like oregano and mint will, if you have a big bed of flowers and you plant it in there, it eventually will take over the whole bed. So I like to grow them in containers. I always have done, even when I had my own big garden. They were put into containers just so they wouldn't take over. We're just talking about herbs in the garden and how nice it is just to be able to pick them.
Yes,
how fresh
that is.
they are and wonderful.
I think I put all of the red pepper sauce in that one.
Oh, that's okay. Can we
Yes.
sort of bring some, get
Yes.
some out maybe?
Yes.
Yeah,
we're-
found some.
Yeah,
Where do you want it? On the buns?
on the buns, yes.
Okay. I can see hummingbirds whizzing around behind us. I think they're a little bit afraid to
Oh,
land because
they?
we're in there,
We're in
taking
their
over with them.
space.
we're in their space. But they're very friendly. And you know, the funny thing is they can get quite, if they get really mad, they'll sort of start bombarding you. In my old apartment, I think I said we had all these hummingbirds, and it was just amazing the amount that we had. And in the evenings, they would just be going crazy and dive bombing us and getting really mad if their feeders were empty. It was like, it was like having kids. Do you want a little bit more than that, or
I
we
think
good?
we're good. So what we're going to do now is let's start with, and look, I have, you know, I had backup, right? Just in case. So.
Well, they're looking great.
Right.
I mean, if you think it's getting a little hot, just push it to the other side,
No,
which
I
is your
think
cool
this
side.
one will be good. Okay, so you want to do, we can layer it, or you can put double. Okay. So there.
Any of those look great.
And this is the bottom. I always have to check. And then let's do a little bit of this, and then we'll add one more patty.
Okay. Are we going to put some fennel in there too?
Yes, yeah. We're going to do just a little of that. Now, this is a vegetarian burger. However,
Delicious.
if you want to throw a little meat on there, I wouldn't say no to that.
What about a little bit of bacon? Oh. Pork.
See?
Love it.
Right?
Anything goes well.
That is hilarious.
When people say that, I say, well,
the
is
vegetarian.
bacon really a meat? Just pretend it's not.
It's because it's just too thin and strippy, right?
That's right. It's just so delicious, Annie. You've got to admit.
Okay, so
Those are
look.
looking great.
Here's our fennel.
You could put avocado with that, couldn't you?
Yes, you could. Oh, we were supposed to roast that avocado,
Yeah.
remember?
I just thought.
Yes.
Oh, I saw, there it is.
Yeah, we were
That's why I
supposed
did
to
remember.
roast it.
You were going to put lemon zest on something. Was that on this one, or was that going to be on something else?
I think we were going to do it on here, so I will throw a little bit on there.
Because you have a zester, don't you?
I do have a zester. I love my
Love
toys.
zesters.
You know I love my kitchen toys,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we go. And
Wow, that's
we're
looking
gonna
great.
do number 2 on the top,
Okay.
right? Okay. And let's do a little lemon zest. Why don't
Now,
we
you
do
know when
that?
it comes to burgers how wide they should be. And if you remember, it came up on that show that we like to watch. What's the show called? Where they forage.
Oh, Crazy Delicious.
Crazy Delicious.
That's a
and they
show.
said that your sandwich or your burger should never be any bigger than your hand, because watch,
Yeah, because you can't, right.
because you can't get it in your mouth.
Exactly.
So that's the rule.
Right,
So I didn't know that
yes.
until I was
Okay.
watching that show.
So
That smells
I'm
great.
There, right?
We do have a
That
lemon
is-
tree in the garden, but unfortunately that's not off our tree.
Oh, that's okay. Next time. So I'm going to move these into the pan so we don't burn things.
Everything's smelling so great.
And I'm just going to top it off with a little bit of leeks. Now this
Annie,
is
that looks
leeks and
great.
parsley.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Look how beautiful that looks.
if I had more of my pesto sauce, I'd drizzle, right? But I think I put everything in here. So yeah. So now let's top it off.
Look at that.
Look at that. Now we need a plate.
We do need a plate.
We
Would you
do.
like me to get one for
I'll
you?
grab one real
Okay.
quick.
So these look absolutely great. Can't wait to try these, Annie. I think they're going to be delicious. Did you find a plate all right?
I did. I'm just reaching in your cupboards.
That's okay.
Look
How's
at
that? Whoa.
Okay,
I know
so
what
this is
we're
a
having for
pretzel
dinner
bun
tonight.
with our zucchini patties,
Very,
our
very nice.
tomato and roasted red pepper with arugula little compote salad.
Absolutely
And we
delicious.
layered it with Mexican onions and topped it off with a little sauteed leeks and parsley.
Nice.
Can you smell it?
I can. It's absolutely delicious. Right, what other dish do you have for
Okay,
us?
for our second dish.
Uh-huh.
He's moving me along.
I'm moving you along.
You are. Look at you. Okay, so
I'm going to put this through here.
Are you going to put it over
because
there?
we're outside. It'll just keep it from
And
getting...
I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it off to the side because I'm going to do some of these mushrooms.
I'm
okay.
right behind you.
Look at these.
Oh,
Look at
those look
these.
delicious.
These are king oyster mushrooms.
Wow.
They remind me of the mushrooms in the Mickey Mouse, what is that? Fantasia movie.
Fantasia?
Yes, where they're all marching. Weren't they marching or something? Yes. So what I do with these is really simple. I know we're
It's okay.
we're
Remember,
adjusting.
that's your cool side on that side.
That's my cool side? Okay.
I believe so. Let me just check.
I'm just going to lay these right flat on here. Okay, and then I'm going to throw a little butter over them, and I'm just going to let them do their thing.
Those look lovely.
Yes.
And I'm not a great mushroom fan.
I was
but
just going to say,
delicious.
you did tell me that. You did tell me that. I was a little surprised, though.
I know. I think it's a texture thing. I think that's probably why I don't.
Yes, you said that to me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm also
we had
gonna
that
move
side
this.
on. That's why it was getting so
No,
hot.
I'm going to move this too, so we can move things around.
Right. Really enjoying this griddle. It really has cooked some great meals. Well, only once before, but I have used it before somewhere else, and it really was good fun.
That patty smells so good.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay, so I'm just going to do this.
Okay.
Little butter, a lot of butter, because that's how I roll.
So in the vegetarian world, we use mushrooms like this, but like a steak.
Yes,
Is that right?
and that was what I was going to say.
Yes.
If you're a vegetarian and you cook with portobellos or you cook with mushrooms, king oyster mushrooms, or any mushroom that has that meaty texture,
the texture and the look.
Yes.
Yes.
You're not even going to miss steak. You're right. It's like, well, I might, but I always say I could be a vegetarian.
Yes.
But I'd be the closet steak eater. You know, I'd be sneaking off somewhere so I could have my steak. Okay, where's that lovely eggplant? Here we go.
Oh, right. That's one that we grew.
And as we're doing this, I'm going to put these right here.
Oh, nice.
There. Okay. So my next one is, it's an eggplant patty. And what I'm going to do is, and you can use your mandolin if you have a mandolin. If you don't have a mandolin, then you can just slice it as thin as possible. I'll take it from you in a second.
That's all right. Whilst you're doing that, I shall clear the deck somewhat.
Okay, thank you.
Good thing we're best friends
there, Annie. You can tell we're working in small quarters, right? Okay, so I just cut the ends off, and I am going to slice it lengthwise.
Oh, Annie, I went and had a little sneak peek taste. It was delicious.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely delicious. I couldn't wait any longer. Instant gratification.
Right? Okay, and so this is what you want. And you could cut them a little thinner if you had a mandolin, which the one I made yesterday, they're a little thinner.
And you don't need to peel them?
No.
Okay.
I'm not peeling it.
I found with the Japanese ones, you don't need to peel them.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil in my pan, because I want to do this on here because the heat is unpredictable on here right now to me, so I'm going to do it on here, and I need a bit of oil to do it. One thing about eggplant, it's like a sponge. So just remember, if you're going to cook them, if you're going to deep fry them, because I do a lot of crispy eggplant, then you have to make sure that you're going to go through some oil if you want to do it like that, because they just soak that up. And then what you want is you want a plate to put it on after you're done cooking it, so you can kind of catch some of that oil.
Could you put them on paper towel to
yes,
catch that
and that's
oil?
what you want. You want to do a plate with paper towel.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to turn this one on again.
Okay,
you should probably check it for me, because...
Yes, I think we're on.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to grab a plate.
All right, these things are cooking really nicely. Let's see, I think we might have to turn a few things here, just to make sure things don't burn. I don't want to be in trouble with Annie.
He's really just got my back right now. Okay, so you see how they're cooking up? How they're a little kind of golden, and when you add this to the sandwich, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. Yes, it's so delicious.
I look forward to it.
Yes. Okay, so once you get your eggplant cut, I just set it to the side. I season it a little bit with salt, and I also put, you can also, which I tend to use a lot of smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. And I use it with oranges, fresh orange zest, or just orange juice. I'll break
Sounds
up
delicious.
the orange and I'll add
Yeah.
it to the marinade. I love, love, love citrus with smoked paprika. So, and so
nice.
you can do that. Okay, so how are we doing here? Not
You
yet.
think it's getting hot?
I think it is, yeah. And I may just lay it right down on here so I can move along.
No, Annie, I remember like 20, 30 years ago, my mother used to get the eggplant, used to cut it in half into slices, put salt on it to draw out the bitterness.
Yes. And it also pulls, you know, it
Makes
pulls
it-
water too.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think nowadays the more modern varieties aren't as bitter as those old varieties
I don't think
used to
so
be.
because I use a lot of eggplant and we do everything from grill it
Right.
on the grill to roast it in the oven to deep frying. We bread it and then
That's
we
right.
deep fry it. I use a lot of panko. It's
Right.
like, you know, your flour egg panko and then crisp it up in the pan.
And, yeah, and there's also different types. There's
Yes.
the round one that
Yes.
looks like a golf ball or a
Yes,
tennis
the
ball.
little one.
The
Yes,
little ones are
yes.
really great. Then there's the long ones, which we're
The
using
Japanese
now.
ones,
And then the ones which are more sort of this shape, which
Yes.
are the ones that
Yes,
you quite
like
often
a
see.
pear almost.
Like a pear.
Yes, yes,
That's right.
yes, yeah,
And they
yeah.
all have their different uses, don't they?
So how do you know it's right?
Usually by the color.
So is it the deeper the purple?
Yes.
Ah,
And
so
also firm. It needs to be firm because they tend to, when they're young, they're very firm. As they get a little bit older, there's a little bit of give.
Yeah.
So it's when they're starting to have that give, I
Right.
think is probably the best time to harvest them.
good
yeah.
to know, right? All
But
these little tips.
you must also realize that the bigger they get, the bigger the seeds are inside. So if you
Right.
don't want it to be very seedy, then you'll pick it younger.
Right.
It's the same thing with the cucumbers and zucchini as well. Yeah. So
So you're gonna, when you harvest, are you gonna plant more eggplant, or you're gonna? Oh,
I'm-
you said you're gonna do zucchini.
I'm going to do more zucchini
Oh,
because they get
yes.
diseased very easily. So if you stagger the planting,
Right,
then that's the
right.
way to do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
So-
move on to my.
And what happens with the eggplant is it's one of those plants that keeps on growing. We do have a little bit of disease going on here, but if you can see like the new leaves, there's not much disease on it. So we just do that with the spraying to try and keep that under control.
All right, so I am going to see how we're doing here.
How are we doing there?
Let's see. Yeah, we can go there.
Would you like me to get it hotter on inside
Yes,
for
that
you?
would be good.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then we can come back to this one because
Yes.
it is on.
Oh, careful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So as he's going to do that for me, I have my mushrooms that are almost ready to come off the grill. And you see, they're kind of spongy, but they're so delicious. I can't even explain how delicious these are. And I love mushrooms. So if you are a mushroom lover, you will love these king oysters. Now, there are different types of oyster mushrooms too. These are the king oysters. I get these at the Asian store. They're literally like the length of this, and as you can see, I sliced it. So, and they come like in a pack of 3 or 4, and their mushrooms are literally like this big. And you'll see them maybe in, you know, this big, this big, this come in different sizes. And they're delicious. And you can slice them, you can add them to salads. It's just a nice accompaniment with any meal. So I'm going to take these off right now. And then what I have is...
Here we are. Off camera, I got this sort of going.
Good, perfect.
Oh yeah, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's going to
Okay.
go very quickly now.
It is.
And I
Be
might double
careful, the
duty.
handle is-
Okay. I might double duty from from there
Let me
to
come around
here.
this other side of you.
Okay.
Oh, you can like sort of grill them. That's a great idea.
So here we have 2 different ways. So we want to cook it till it's nice and golden brown. Okay. While those are cooking, I'm going to cut another one. So I have my mushrooms there. Now,
Those look great.
to this dish, I'm going to add caramelized onions. Okay, so let me just talk a little bit about the caramelized onions. So I use a white sweet onion. Okay,
Isn't there a Hawaiian onion
the
as
Maui
well? Is
onions.
the Maui
yes,
onion?
the Maui onions are really good.
Right.
And the key to caramelizing onions is low and slow. So you want to just draw all the sugar out of the onion, and you want it to just caramelize slowly. And as it starts to soften up, you'll see it'll start to brown because the sugars are all being drawn out, and it has a sweet, just delicious flavor. And as it's cooking, the aroma
it's so
of
delicious.
onion sauteing, oh my gosh.
I think actually, they're one of my favorite vegetables is onions, which have been sauteed.
Yes.
So delicious.
I caramelize a lot of onions.
Yes.
So, okay, so here we have two different ways we're doing this. And I'm going to throw a little bit of olive oil right across
Are
here.
you happy with the heat on that?
I think I have to watch
you're on
it.
pretty.
Yeah,
you're on the right, you're on low, and on the back, you're on high.
Okay.
On the right, on the left-hand side.
Okay, so it's starting to brown a bit. But, and you'll see how much oil this soaks up.
Turn this one up
here.
just a little bit.
This one here? Yeah.
How's that?
So I do a lot of pit fire cooking. I love to cook open flame. And so I would do this on an open flame. And again, as it's cooking and the moisture's coming out of it, it just gets this texture, this really soft texture. And as it's grilling, the flavor that matches with the fire and the smokiness.
So delicious.
Oh my gosh.
And don't the edges of the skin will go a little crispy as well?
Yes, yes.
Adds
And I
another
didn't
little
peel
texture.
these because what we're going to do is we're going to roll these.
Okay.
And so the skin is going to give that color as we're rolling
right.
it, right? Okay, now.
And the skin's always good for fiber in your diet. I think we don't get enough
Exactly.
of that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you see what I have here? I have marinated mozzarella,
Oh,
right? What do you think about that?
I think they look great.
So there's just a little red pepper flakes.
I thought maybe they could be quail eggs.
No.
That's showing my ignorance, isn't it?
They do look, they could be.
They could be, I guess.
They could be, yes, they could. Don't sell yourself short. They could be, yes. So I'm going to break up some of this because when I build this, I'm going to put a little bit of that on it.
Now, will you cook those or they will go
No,
in
I'm
as
just
they are?
going to let it be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to, for the sake of time. I mean, you can, once you get your eggplant patty made,
Yes.
you can put it in the oven and throw that over the top and melt it down. That would be delicious. So there's, I mean, there's no rules. You can do what you want.
Okay.
And
There's no rules, so I'm going to pinch one of these and eat it.
Okay.
Oh. Delicious.
right. So so you see how this is coming along, and you want it to be soft because inevitably you need it soft so that you can roll it. Okay.
They're doing really well. How's that one doing that's frying?
This one here is taking a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
Maybe
okay.
a little thicker, maybe.
But I'm going to put some of these in there because I need them to be softer.
And my banana peppers are looking good.
Look at.
Wow,
Can you
I
guys
love the browning
see
on that.
that? Can you guys just see that? Look at that. Isn't that awesome?
Wow, that is great.
So we have. I almost don't want to say banana now because I'm hearing my BFF. It is banana.
Banana.
I find myself hesitating after you
right.
say something. You say tomato, and I go tomato.
How funny is that?
So, okay, I think we're almost there. So what we're going to
It
do
smells great.
is
It
we are
really
going
does.
to take this and we're going to start to wrap it. And you know what we're wrapping it with?
Tell me.
That cheese.
Okay, what is this cheese?
That's Boursin cheese.
Ah,
you know, it's
look at
that
that.
creamy garlic.
So is there herbs in there as well?
Uh-oh, we have a buddy.
We have a bunny.
We have a little buddy here.
That's okay.
So this is
Blaze has got his cone on. He's
Oh.
got eczema at the moment, poor thing. That's why he's at home and not at work.
Yeah, he usually goes to work, huh,
He does.
Blaze?
Hi, Blaze. Nice to see you.
He's giving me his sad eyes, like, where's
Aw,
mine?
He wants
Where's
something
mine?
to eat. Oh, look at that nose.
Uh-oh, he's sniffing. He is sniffing.
All right, because I'm afraid
Okay.
there's a lot of hot things here.
Okay.
Come on, Blaze. Let's go out. Come. Good boy.
Okay. Sorry for my
Good
back.
boy.
Okay, so we're almost there. See this? See how this is coming along quite nicely? Okay, so I'm going to start.
In your place.
Actually, I'm going to put
In
this
your
one in the
place.
oil and this one. Now, if I were outside on fire, all this would continue to do its thing, and it would just it would just caramelize. I just
Oh,
love
it
it
looks
cooked on
absolutely
fire.
delicious right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pull these off,
All right.
and I'm going to line them up.
Well, that was a nice little visit, wasn't it?
Wasn't
It's like having
that
children coming on in the middle of something.
Which now seems to be the thing that's happening
It
when
is.
people are in their business
With everybody
meetings
working at home and everything
right?
like that, it happens a lot, I think, now.
They were talking about that when somebody's child decided to run in the background
dear.
with no pants.
Oh,
With no, that'd be one of my kids. My kids would have done something like that.
I think so. I have 3 sons, and I'm sure they would
Yeah,
have done that
yeah,
as
one
well.
of my sons would have done
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so here we are. We are moving along nicely.
So, Annie, I think you must be cooking something that Blaze really likes.
Maybe it's got to be the eggplant.
I think so.
Do you think?
Yes. Well, he's
Okay.
standing there now with these sort of sad eyes
Oh,
with his cone on.
I'm sorry, Blaze.
You know, poor guy.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
Okay,
it was a nice
so
visit.
we have.
We'll have him on the show another time when he doesn't have his cone on. How's
yes,
that?
we will. Okay, so my little.
What are you looking for? Can I help
I'm looking
you?
for my little crooked little spatula. But
Oh,
that's
the
okay.
one?
Yeah.
I can go and look for that. I think it's probably in the kitchen.
And then can you bring me a plate and I'll pull
Yes.
the rest off as well? So it's a heat game when you're cooking with items from the backyard, like your barbecue and things, especially when you're cooking with grills like this. It's a heat game. So, but
And I
look
think
at-
the fact that you haven't
Thank
really cooked
you.
on this before is another
Yes.
reason why it's.
yes,
you know,
you're right. Okay, look at that.
Oh, those look
Look at
absolutely
that.
gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we are almost there.
You want me to
We're
say, how
almost
those,
there,
How
everyone.
those banana peppers doing?
Look at.
Now, do you want me to do something with the heat or
I
off?
just turned them off
Okay.
because I think we're good.
I think we are good.
Yes, we are good. Okay.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this right here because I'm going to do the first one.
Okay, and I'll sneak behind you.
Okay. So, here we go.
Are we going to be rolling them now?
Yes, we're going to roll them.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's the Boson cheese, which has herbs and stuff in
this
it
is
already, hasn't
yes,
it?
it's got garlic and
Don't they say Mediterranean
chives.
herbs
They
or
have
something?
different flavors.
Chives are
Yes.
lovely to grow in the garden.
Yes.
I absolutely would suggest that.
Right.
And you would grow them in a small pot as well? A
Yes.
bit like the parsley.
Yes, yes.
Nothing nicer than fresh chives.
And, you know, for your baked potatoes, for your garnish,
Oh, yeah.
just anything.
Salads, I love them in salads too.
Yes.
Because you have
Okay.
that onion flavor, but not too strong.
Right, right. So see what I'm doing here?
I can.
am just adding a little bit.
It smells
To
great. That
this.
cheese is really amazing.
I know, right?
I hadn't thought of doing it like this. I usually just have it on crackers.
Oh,
Is
no.
that boring, isn't it?
Right? You got to get a little more
Oh,
adventurous.
now that you're my best
Right?
friend, absolutely.
Okay, so it's a little hot, so I'm
Okay.
just going to kind of, what we're going to
what
do is
about
we're
those
going to roll
roasted
it.
tomatoes that you have over
Yeah, I'm going to add them to the top of this.
Okay.
But I may have cut it a little thick, but we're still going to go for it.
there? All right.
Okay, so can you see this?
I can see it, and I can see it's very hot on your
It
hands.
is.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
We could talk about something else if you like. Tell us about these tomatoes that you did. that
Oh,
you
so
roasted.
those are the roasted Romas. Okay, so if you
Now,
are
these
growing,
came off my plant,
yes,
right?
yes,
When you
yes,
came the other day,
yes,
you got them.
Yes. So if you have roasted tomatoes like this, Romas are really good roasted. And so all you have to do is, again, very simple, slice it, toss it in a bowl with olive oil, salt and pepper, roast them this way. You want to roast them
That's
like
right.
that.
So the beauty of Roma tomatoes is that they have more flesh and less liquid in them than slicing tomatoes. So that's why you see them in a lot as processed tomatoes in a can. It's always the Roma tomatoes that do it.
Right. Okay, so I'm making a mess. I have backup. Because you know whenever you're doing things live, nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Okay, but here, kind of, sort of. And then what you want to do is you want to put this in the fridge and let it sit.
that'll make it more
yes,
solid?
and it'll solid. It'll
Okay.
make it kind of come together better. And then what you want to do to warm it up is just put it in the oven at about,
What, 350?
no,
Too high?
like about 200. You just
Okay.
you don't
Oh,
want to
just to warm it up,
You
not
just
to
want
cook
to
it.
warm it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's all you want to do with that. And then I have my backup right in the kitchen that I did yesterday. And
Okay.
you can do this a day ahead,
Right.
but just because I'm determined.
Yep, push
I'm a
it there.
little- Yeah.
There you go. I don't want to use my fingers.
Just because I'm determined, I'm going to do one more really, really fast.
Okay.
Okay.
With one that you made.
And this one is, these are a little cooler, so this
All
might
right.
be
That might be
not
easier.
so
They look
bad,
thinner
yeah.
as well.
Yes, yes. And it is important to get them kind of thin. That's why a mandolin is better to do. Yeah, a mandolin is a lot better to
So that's a device
cut
for
them.
cutting them really thin, is it?
Yes, and you have
Excuse
to.
my ignorance on that one.
No, it is. A mandolin is it's a kitchen tool, and it really is a lifesaver for slicing
Okay.
thin things. Like I slice my watermelon radishes on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I slice a lot of stuff. You can slice your tomatoes.
Yes.
Yes, and you can get them nice and thin. But you have to be careful because mandolins can,
Aren't they rather dangerous?
they're a little dangerous.
Yes,
yeah,
we don't want to
yeah.
be slicing fingers off.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
Especially not live.
No, not live. Absolutely not.
Okay, so I don't know.
Do you
if
think this one's going to roll?
I don't know. We'll see, because I have the skin side. So, but you know, my idea of the skin was the prettiness of it.
Yes.
So,
Got it.
no, it probably isn't because wait, let me.
Would you like me to get the ones which are in the kitchen for
Yes,
you?
I would love
Okay.
that if you could bring out
Absolutely.
the by magic
As
of
your
television.
demi chef.
Yes. And then again, if you don't want to roll it, you can stack it instead. But make sure if you do roll it that you're going to put it in the refrigerator and cool it down. That's an important step.
Here we are.
Okay.
And voila.
And here we go. So this is what I did yesterday. We're going to pop them right here to get them a little warm.
Okay.
Right.
Let me take this away.
And then I'm going to also give, could you bring me one more plate?
Yes.
And I'm going to give you the cutting board. And then we'll build on the plate. So we have a lot of components to this one. There's a lot of flavor going into this sandwich.
I'll switch out with you.
There is your
Here we go.
flavor, your smoky flavor from your eggplant. You've got your meaty texture from your king oyster mushrooms. Then the caramelized onions. Oh my goodness. Let me just warm these up a little. Caramelized onions. And you can, there's a little secret. You can add a little balsamic to it. And just if you want it just a tad sweeter, a little brown sugar as well. If you add a little balsamic, you're going to get this beautiful color here, as you can see, right? And then we have our mozzarella and our roasted Roma tomatoes. So I'm going to put this on an onion roll. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Because I think we can.
Would you like me to turn that grill on for you?
One more time.
Okay.
We're playing off and on grill.
That's okay.
And I also have some roasted garlic. So let's see how we assemble this. And again, if you just want to have like build your own veggie burger, you can put all these things out, and you can have your guest.
Annie, I agree with you because
Right.
I have 3 sons. They don't all like the same thing.
Right.
So one doesn't want grilled onions, another one doesn't want eggplant, and so, you know,
Yes.
they can
and
just do whatever they like.
Exactly.
And they can actually choose their bread, because quite often I get different types of bread.
Yes, and it's
So I
really
think that's important.
It's so interactive, and it's really a nice way to spend, spend an evening. So
Oh,
okay.
I can't wait for these banana peppers. I know I keep on
know,
going on
right?
about them, but they look
No,
so
but
great.
look how delicious they look.
Uh-huh.
They're
Wow.
like almost there too.
Now, is that the right temperature, or should I turn it down a tad?
I think we're going to have to.
Turn it down a tad? Okay.
Yeah. We're
It
gonna
does
have
heat
to
up
kinda
nicely,
play
quickly,
with it.
which is a nice thing.
Yes, it does. Okay, so I got buns. I got eggplant. I got goodies. Okay.
Lots of butter.
Lots of butter. So, and because this sits on the table, this grill can be tabletop.
Yes.
This is a really good way to set your table and just have this at the end of the table.
That's right.
Right?
And it actually has a cool attachment that you can have one of those little gas cylinders, the small ones. You can attach to it instead of having to have that big one that you have to lunk
Right.
around everywhere with
I
you.
know you can take this very carefully away from me if you want to
Yes.
do that.
think
Very
it might-
carefully
I think it
because
might be a little
yes,
hot.
you need.
Here we go.
And I have towels in there too. If you want to grab
Okay.
me another towel.
Sure.
Okay, so as our buns are getting nice and toasty,
Annie, this is PG, please.
oh. Oh my goodness. As our peppers are getting nice and toasty too. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over. Now you can see the cheese in here. Look at that. That's the Boursin cheese. And
Please. Hey.
we are almost there. We're almost there. Okay, so we have our buns going. Oh,
How's that?
look
How
at-
many of these? Those look great. Here we go.
I had some on my. I
Oh.
brought some with me.
Oh, that's okay.
My kitchen ones, so I don't ruin your pretty
Oh,
ones.
all right. Let me look and see what I can find.
Yeah, because when I cook, you don't want me to have your pretty towels.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where we're at. We're toasting buns. We're warming up caramelized onions. We've got our delicious looking peppers that we harvested from Paul's garden and threw them right on the grill. So all of these veggies can go right on the grill or in the oven for roasting, or you can eat the bell peppers raw. You don't have to roast them. You can eat them raw. I love raw beets. When Paul comes back, we're going to talk a little bit. Hey, Paul, let's talk about some beets.
Oh, beets are awesome. So beets, they can be grown in pots. They tend to need a little bit of soil that's a little deeper. I'm sorry, not as deep as these big pots. But you could do it on a raised bed. I don't know if you've seen these vegetable raised beds. They're probably about this high.
Yes.
And the soil is probably about 9 inches deep.
Yes.
And those you can do things like arugula and radishes and beets, because they don't need the deep soil that we have in these big pots.
So I like to eat my beets raw.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like them roasted.
They're like a chip, like a
Okay.
potato chip when you
Oh,
eat them
nice.
raw. And you slice them very thin, another mandolin item.
Yes.
And then I usually put them in like ice water for a little bit.
Is that just to
and they
make them more crisp?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're so delicious.
Does that not draw the coloring out of them, or
No.
doesn't that really matter?
Oh, no, they stay
Okay.
pretty dark.
I must admit, my favorite are the golden beets.
Yes, they are delicious.
Now, with beets, you can actually eat the leaves as well. You can
Yes,
make the
you
salad
can.
from the leaves.
Yes, you can. You
Yeah.
can.
Oh, that looks great.
Okay, so we're building.
Okay.
We've got our eggplant. We've got our mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our Roma tomato.
Oh, delicious.
And we're going to top it off with now this is where you could pop it in the oven for
Okay.
a quick little broiler action.
Yes.
Right? So you've got your rolled
Mm-hmm.
eggplant, your caramelized onions, your meaty mushrooms, roasted Roma tomato, and your marinated mozzarella.
It looks absolutely delicious.
Right?
Now you're going to top it.
Now we're going to top it off. And there we go.
Very, very nice.
How's that? Okay.
Yeah,
so
that
we
looks
need
great.
Another plate.
I shall get you.
Now I'm just going through all your dishes.
No, that's okay.
And I brought my own, but
Annie, would you like to put it with these other ones, and then we can sort of have a
Yes, I
final
would
shot,
love
and you can
that.
see everything
I
all
would
together.
love that. Yes.
So let me. Sorry, I'm coming behind
That's
you here.
okay. So, little tricks of the trade here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, when you're making your patties, even if you're making the zucchini patty, you want to refrigerate it a little bit before you cook it off, okay? And then when you, for example, for the eggplant, you want to cook it off, and then you want to put it back in the refrigerator so it'll bind. And so when you warm it up, that's all you're going to do is you're going to warm it up, but it's going to stay together. Okay.
Here, I don't know if this might be easier for you.
No,
when
I'm
we move
good.
it across,
Oh,
you
here,
good?
here. I'll just do this.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. Now we've got Roma.
I
And
love
we
the
can
way you
do-
build it up and layer it.
You can do 2 or 1.
Okay.
Wait, did I do it here? Caramelized onions.
Oh,
Well,
you've nearly forgot the most
I
important bit.
almost did, right?
In my eyes.
Right. Well, I'm going to add a little bit more. I didn't throw these on the griddle, but they're still delicious.
That's okay, because it's quite warm,
Right,
isn't it?
It is
So
very
it'll warm up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our eggplant, our mushrooms, our Roma tomato, our caramelized onions, and we're going to top it off with our mozzarella.
Oh, could you put some of this this garlic in
Oh,
it?
that's what because I was supposed to. I just
Right.
forgot. You reminded
I've been
me.
eyeing those.
I know, right? Okay, here.
Now, those you popped in the oven just for a
I
little bit,
did,
didn't you?
I
How long were
did.
they in the oven for?
Maybe 30, 40 minutes.
Okay, and at
Yeah.
what temperature?
I did 350.
And you cut the tops and you put a bit of olive
I
oil
cut
in
the
them?
top, and then I drizzled it with olive oil
Yes.
and a little salt and pepper, and you get
And the
this.
nice thing is they're garlicky, but they're not very
No.
garlicky. They sort of have that buttery garlic flavor to
They're
them,
probably
don't
thinking, wow, look at all that garlic
I
she's
know.
putting on there.
Yes.
However, you can take this and spread it on
you
a
can.
baguette, and it's delicious.
very
and
delicious.
no, it's not as strong as you think once
Right.
once it's
Once it's been
grilled.
baked.
Yes. So I'm going to just throw a little over there as
Mm-hmm.
well. And then we have it. That's where we are in today's garden with our garden burgers. Not your average garden burger,
they? No,
but
how delicious.
right?
And you know,
Okay.
we were talking about having a guest and we didn't have a guest. Well, we did have a guest in the
We
end.
did.
Yes,
we
little
had
Blaze
came. We were hoping for the hummingbirds. They
Yes,
kind
I
of
think
popped in and out.
They
but
have. I've seen them in the
yes.
background of their shadows, but I think
Okay.
we're scaring them because
Be
we're
my
very
Vanna.
close.
Be my Vanna.
Oh, wow, look at this. Isn't this just so delicious? Absolutely delicious. And would you garnish it with anything?
Yes.
little bit of
in
parsley, maybe?
fact- Sorry, I was washing.
And isn't that
I was
awesome? You can
washing
go
my
to the
hands.
parsley bush and pick some off
You
and
can.
just stick it on.
Yes, you can. And I also have some thyme here.
Oh, thyme.
here.
Very nice.
We can just kind of maybe put that across the top, right?
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
A little bit of a little bit of
And we
parsley.
are good to go.
Mint wouldn't go. It's too
But it would go in our
in our drink. Right.
mimosa,
Oh, yeah.
in our,
That looks absolutely amazing.
So-
Oh, here's another garnish.
Oh, there we go. That's what we forgot, was our peppers. Look at that. Well, here, let's just do this.
Okay.
There.
Like
Ta-da.
that. Oh, wow.
Okay.
That
Now,
is amazing.
I think it's Food Network worthy.
Well, I know what we're having for dinner.
Right. So this is our zucchini vegetarian burger, and this is
On a
our
pretzel bun.
on a pretzel bun, and this is our eggplant and meaty mushroom,
Right.
caramelized onions, and marinated mozzarella.
And my
right?
favorite is the homegrown banana peppers.
Right now,
Absolutely
all
delicious.
of this came. Well, a large amount of it came from.
And I think
Paul's
quite a lot of it
garden.
people
Yes.
could grow actually
Yes.
if they wanted to.
And I'm sure if you are gardeners, you've got, if not every one of these items in your garden
or
growing.
most of them.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Well, thank you, Annie.
Oh,
that was a
thank
lot
you.
of fun, and thank
I
you
gotta
for
go
coming to
clean your
my
kitchen
garden.
now.
Oh, that's fine. And I'm going to put the garden back together again.
Oh yes, you put the garden back together. I'll clean
That's
your
it.
kitchen. Yes.
And plant some more seeds for next time.
And thank you so much, all of
Oh.
you, for joining us. So keep in touch.
Yes.
Watch our promos on our yellow sofa.
That's right.
Because we have some exciting things that we're doing.
And I think our yellow sofa is going on the road too.
Oh, we are. We are.
Uh-huh. No, the
You know
sofa as
what?
well with us.
Yes, but I was going to ask you, did you ever watch the movie, the Yellow Limousine?
I didn't.
No, the Yellow Rolls Royce.
Okay.
Okay,
Are we going to get one of those?
we got the sofa version of that. Yeah, the sofa version. Okay?
So yes, so we have some other trips planned, don't we?
Yes, we do. We do.
And I think it's going to be exciting.
It is. So,
Please join us
yes, stay tuned
you.
and go harvest your garden.
and enjoy. Take care. Oh, that was fun.
We really got to start getting paid for this. We all do.
That's cool. You got that on. You got that on the very end, which is really cool. What you just said. It was actually on the stream. So an hour and about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
And you know what? That means it's more people were able to sit down and go,
Were
oh, look, they're
people
on
watching?
live. Yeah.
Yes.
So they're dropping in. You know.
And dropping
Yeah.
out.
I'm interested to see how many you got off this. Live, sometimes you end up with about 40 or 50, but over the course of a couple days, you probably end up with 300 or 400.
And-
the last one
and-
we did, I think we had like 350.
Yes, yes.
Oh, really?
Amazing,
That is
amazing.
And we have the time of day and the day of the week, I think we need to pay attention to right? As far as when people would log on or off, or does that even matter right
No,
now?
it matters. But right now during lockdown, I mean, they're not hurting us that much at all.
Right.
But if it weren't lockdown, I think it would probably definitely be.
A concern. Yeah.